The silent ones. Do you recognize a situation where half of the team is actively involved in a team meeting and the other half is passive? You may think that they are less engaged in the company's performance and results than you and the active part of the team are. This is most often not the case. Different people have different preferences. Some people are holding back for different reasons. For instance, the other most probably have a better idea than me. I'm not fond of speaking up in larger groups. I need to think it through first. Now it's too late since the subject has already been closed. The others want to speak up, so let them. I do not want to brag. I haven't been here for so long, so I better wait saying my opinion. I have more than enough tasks to do, so I'll not add any more new ideas. I hope that we're soon going to talk about issues that are much more important. I have to remember to write to the 4 customers, and I also have to remember to deliver the 2 remaining tasks, and the others are smarter than me and well articulated. I always get nervous when I speak up, so I don't want to. The others will not like what I have to say. It's a pity for Tina if it's going to be as John proposes, but I don't want to be in the fight. I believe the others do not see that this situation is serious and things can go wrong. I know it's not popular to say, so I don't. The situation could also be that the employee doesn't find the meeting interesting enough. I wish this meeting was soon over so I can get back to work. What a dull subject to discuss. I believe that the manager is really making a fool out of himself right now. I disagree with what is said, but I won't bother doing anything about it. Maybe something is going on between the employees, but it is not expressed. I wish this idiot would keep his big mouth shut. Why is the manager not acting upon Susan's constant negative behavior? I think the manager should concentrate on what is important right now and not add more tasks to our daily work. We are overloaded already. The silence is linked to an inner dialogue and a wish for something more. If the manager is guessing, he or she will probably be wrong. Many managers respond by finalizing the meeting, accepting that only a few is a part of the dialogue. And if the dialogue ends, the manager will continue in a monologue. The silence is perceived as acceptance, and the manager will afterwards wonder why actions are not taken as expected. It is often more beneficial to ask about the silence. For instance, it is kind of silent right now. What is the silence all about? Now I have spoken for a long time, and I would like to hear some opinions. What do you say, Anne? Before we continue, I need to know what you're thinking. It is very important for the decision we're about to make that all views are heard. So what are you thinking right now? I think that a lot is happening right now, even though there is a silence. What are you thinking about right now? It is important to be silent after having asked the question. Do not expect the answer to come immediately. Remember that the employee's intention was not to express the inner dialogue. It demands courage to say what you think if you know that people are probably getting offended. For instance, I don't think this dialogue is important enough for me to participate in. I have so much work that needs to be done, so I would rather return to my desk. I don't agree with anything that has been said. No matter how long time the silence lasts, keep on inviting people to speak up. If the silence is too long, you can ask the employees to come and talk to you one-on-one, or tell them that you will come and ask them shortly after the meeting. How is your personal expression? Note what your body language is expressing. Do you look irritated, open, appreciative, angry, mad, approachable, or happy? The employees are not only listening to what you say, but also to your voice, facial expression, body language, how you use pauses, and the speed and strength in your vocal. These tools are often much more important for the perception of your intention. If you are truly interested in the employee's inner dialogue, you need to show it, also with your body language and your voice. If you have an inner dialogue, you can count on that it is reflected in your voice and body language. An exercise for you. Say this sentence out loud. I want to hear your opinion. Say it now when thinking, damn them. They don't even want to participate. For God's sake, they must have an opinion. Or, wow, I really believe that they have the solution to this, and I'm so eager to hear it. How did your body language, voice, and facial expression change? You have most probably noticed that it is hard to look angry when you are saying, wow. What you're thinking is consciously or unconsciously being perceived by your audience. Silence is natural when changes occur and they are presented in a meeting followed by the question, so what do you say? Isn't it great? It is natural for some people to be silent. The silence is probably not about lack of acceptance, but more about not being ready yet. The scientist wants to ensure that changes are well planned, that quality is delivered, and that nothing goes wrong. This takes some time to analyze, and that is why the scientist cannot answer on the spot if this change is a good idea or not. If the manager forces the question, the scientist will feel the pressure and make sure that he or she is not getting committed to something that there is no control over. The scientist will counter-argue with all the things that can go wrong. The nurse wants to ensure that there is a step-by-step plan and that the change can be incorporated in already existing structures. This takes time to figure out, and the plan is often not ready once the change is presented for the first time. That is why the nurse cannot answer on the spot if this change is a good idea or not. If the manager forces the question, the nurse will probably be confused and sad not to be able to help out. It can be beneficial to prepare the scientist and nurse ahead of the meeting, so that they have the chance to examine the change. They will then be ready with their arguments about what it takes for the change to be implemented or what will prevent the change from ever being implemented. The hunter and conqueror are normally outspoken, but it can be that the hunter is thinking, I'm not supporting this at all. And the conqueror thinking, this is not within my vision, so I'm doing something else, without saying anything to you. Once the manager knows that the change is doable, there's nothing more to it than getting started. If the outcome is lots of obstacles, the manager can ask questions like, if this is not the way to do it, what is it then? If this change should ever be possible for us, how should we do it? Now that we know that the change is here to stay, how can we then implement it in the best of ways? Set clear and energizing goals. Setting clear and energizing goals is not the same as a short message on an email or to show 5 slides with the next year's top-down goals at a staff meeting. Clear and energizing goals are set by involving the employees. A guiding rule is that the goals must be within sight but out of reach at the moment. You can often see from the employee's body language if the goal is clear and energizing. Nodding heads, a smile, a straight back, a nose up. Supporting outbreaks can, for instance, be, we can do this if we only focus. This is going to be fun to try and reach. I believe in it. It will be difficult, but not impossible. We're going to make a difference. People do have a need and wish to develop and to be challenged, to feel and know that they are making a difference. It is commonly known that the feeling of success makes us more powerful and that we're driven by it. When people are successful, they almost always call it a good day and often worth telling about at home.